kind of game. Like I don't know. This was a not so great one where you had a weird start and then a sleepy second period, but you felt like you were playing good in the first, and then and you end up with a 4-1 win. Like at the end of the season, when we look back at this one and we look and say, hey, there was that win against Chicago on the schedule, and it finished 4-1, and other people are going to look around the league. No one's going to bat an eye at the Toronto Maple Leafs beating the Chicago Blackhawks 4-1. Like, you're going to look at this and you're going to say, yep, that makes sense. Like, that 4-1 victory. But this didn't feel like a 4-1 game. This didn't feel like an overly dominant game from the Leafs here tonight. And to walk away with the game yet again on the wrong side of a deserve to win meter, on one where it felt like this could have easily flipped the other way. Maybe I'm an idiot. Maybe I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. Maybe I'm delusional. Maybe it's all of them. But to get to this point and see these wins makes me feel like the team is, dare I say, different. This is a game in the past that you just lose. You play a crappy game against Chicago Blackhawks at home on a Monday night, and it's 7:30, but it starts at 7:45, and you get thumped on the deserve to win a meter, and you get a goalie who's been actually a little bit better than maybe you would think in Soderblom, and you're like, yeah, well, we're going to lose this one. We're going to get goalied. It's over. We're going to get pumped. We're going to get demolished. Like, this is going to be embarrassing. They're going to write headlines. We're going to have people writing in the papers tomorrow and getting ourselves in some situations where they're calling out these no-name goaltenders on opposite teams. And yet you walk away with a 4-1 victory. Like, this feels not Leafy. This feels so very not Leafy to win this game with a 4-1 result. Mike Batson pointing out good first period. John Gallagher, Berube factor. Honestly, that might be where we're at. Diaz K. Bedard was cheeks tonight. I'll give you that. I don't know. Like, I will get into a lot of it here tonight, more about what happened, the power play, the penalty kill, Austin Matthews and what's happening with their line, some guys further down the lineup who I like, who I didn't like here tonight, but just overall theme and vibe of the game was very weird. This just felt like traditional Leafy get smoked or just lose an embarrassing one at home against a not so great team in the Chicago Blackhawks, and we all say that's embarrassing, except we expected it because it's the Maple Leafs. And then you win the game. Like, I don't know. I'm almost confused that the Leafs walked away with the win here tonight, because it's like that doesn't happen for this team in games like that. I don't know. We'll dig into all of that. We'll get into some more. We'll get into our grades of the game, our best bet. We'll get into our play of the game here tonight as well. Answer your super chats. In the meantime, if you're watching, make sure to hit that like button. Subscribe here to the channel, Leafs Nation 401, right here on YouTube. Whether it's pre-game videos, breaking down lines, updates, who's in net, who's coming in and out of the lineup, who is playing with who. Those will all be happening in my pregame shows on every single game day. You can also find Nick, Rosie, producer Vic, as well as Carter Hutton and a bunch of different guys hopping through the Leafs Morning Take Show Monday to Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern Time. You get it all here on this channel. Make sure to like and subscribe. And this is a presentation of Bet365, as always. Proud partner of Leafs Nation pregame and Leafs Nation After Dark. Open an account with Bet365 today and bet on a huge range of markets. Use code NATION, NATION. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Code NATION, all caps, NATION. Make sure to check it out there. Yeah, I don't know. Just general vibes. We'll get into some of the more specifics here tonight, players, some of the thoughts about period to period, special teams, etc., goaltending, which was a massive factor here tonight that I want to make sure that we cover and give a lot of praise to, because there were a couple of moments that could have put this thing in quite a different direction. And obviously, Anthony Stolarz here walking away with a 964 save percentage. And honestly, doesn't do justice to how well he played. Like a 964 save percentage does not do justice to the performance that Anthony Stolarz had. Just very calm, very solid back there. He gave the Leafs plenty of opportunity, held them in the game in moments where maybe they didn't deserve saves, or they were putting themselves in vulnerable, or putting him in a vulnerable position. And yet at the same time, he was so good that the Leafs walk away with a 4-1 win. A 964 save percentage, and that goal that beat him, honestly, he almost had. Like, he almost had that one. He almost saved it. Let's get to our first super chat here of the night. I want to make sure we get to that. I see a bunch of questions from you guys, so make sure you send them here. If you guys want to see me do the smelling salts, make sure to hit that like button. Every 50 likes, 50, 100, 150, etc. We'll do smelling salts here for the likes on the stream. So thank you guys very much. Let's get to our first super chat. First super chat of the day. So Sangnam. As an observer, one of the hallmarks of genuinely good teams are they regularly win games and they're not firing on all cylinders. And this is something we're finally witnessing with the Leafs now. Honestly, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, and you guys, you clip this. Our guy Andy, who does the clipping for this show, clip this. Leafs Morning Take, guys, clip this, because I'm probably going to sound like an idiot in like 5 games or 10 games, or maybe it'll last until the playoffs, and then it's going to be like, wow, that was really a stupid take. This team feels different with some of that stuff, and I'm not just talking about necessarily like the defensive play, the defensive style of play, or the ability to get it done in games where you don't have this offensive outburst where you could score 6-7 goals. I know they get 4 here tonight. The 4th one is obviously an empty netter, so kind of take that with a grain of salt, but it's a sleepy, slow game, and traditionally it's like, okay, sleepy, slow game, we're not firing offensively, we're not putting pucks in the back of the net at an abundant rate. Well, guess what? We're going to lose because we don't have another style of game to play. If we don't have our A game, we normally are playing an F game, and then when you take those things into consideration, it's like, how did we go from that in games where, hey, it's either A or F, and yet you get this game where it's, as my guy Skylar there, Fisk TV says, Rosie said this morning said it's different, you're not alone, Zach. You found a way to win one out in like a gross, sleepy game that's like, these are the games I'm talking about. I have said this numerous times, whether it is, you know, your Colorados, your Tampas, your Vegas Golden Knights teams that win these games where they're not deserving of the win. They're the better team on paper, but they don't play like they're the better team out on the ice. And yet, just because they are able to find these games where, hey, maybe you're not playing your A or your B game, maybe you could find your B- game, and it doesn't have to be an F game. And it's like, that's what this team did tonight. I'm not going to give this an F. I don't think that I'm going to give this an F for effort or for execution. It wasn't great. Like, let's call it what it is. It wasn't great, but you found a way to win in a spot that you didn't deserve so. And that is different. This is not different from last year. This is not different from the last 2 years. This is different from the last 8 years of this team. This is year 9 with Matthews, Marner, Nylander, Tavares, etc. going on into this group, Riley. And it's like, this is the first time that we're seeing these ones. Tampa, obviously, that one went against you. You didn't deserve to win that one. You found a way to win. We talked about the deserve to win meter at the end there. We talked about how much they got spanked by Tampa just in terms of expected goals and generated chances. You squeaked that one out. This one here tonight did not deserve to win, just if you're going to talk about, hey, expected goals and some of the underlying analytics and just overall what we actually saw. Like, even just eye test on top of what we saw from numbers-wise, you probably shouldn't have won this game. And it's like you found a way to eliminate all the leafiness. Blues riffage there. No former Leafs goals either. Bang. I mean, we'll get to it later, but I talked about Bertuzzi and Bertuzzi, revenge game, gonna be fired up, coming here to Toronto, playing on the line with Bedard, getting Taylor, like, you're getting all these things. He's gonna come in, he's gonna go. He wants to prove to the people, he wants to prove to management, etc., what he's worth, why he should have been here, or just give some, hey, F you back, because he's able to score here in Toronto. And then it's like, no former Leaf goal, no random Brody goal, Ilya Mikheyev goal, no Bertuzzi goal. Sneak away with those. Your goalie, outstanding. This is a game, no disrespect to Samsonov, but this is a game in years past where Samsonov's in there and he lets in some crappy one from the point. This is one where early on there's a deflection off a leg and Samsonov's not tracking it properly and he can't get it, or he makes a save and it bounces out the rebound and he swims all the way across the net and he's rolling around on his back trying to make a save and doesn't quite get there. Like, these are the types of games we've seen in years past, and now all of a sudden it's like, I trust the goaltender. For the most part here, I'm now trusting the defense. I think this is one where another thing I want to touch on is Jake McCabe. You traditionally don't notice him in the lineup. Tonight I noticed he wasn't playing. Flea Myers, I'm interested to see what they've got there, because they're in this weird tweener position with him where they feel like he's too good to go down because he's going to get claimed, but he's not good enough to play. So he's just hanging, which is obviously a shitty situation for a player because he's not getting game action. He's only getting in practice. He's not seeing those kind of like full speed, full intensity reps that you should be during a season to kind of keep up with the pace. He's not seeing the game pace. And then on top of that, it's, he's playing with Morgan Riley there at some points. You've got Timmins and Benoit together. You're in these weird bouncing up and down lineups. I mean, you notice the difference. Like, you notice a difference there. I don't think that the team defensively was that bad tonight, but yeah, this game, Myers had some brutal turnovers. He did. He had some tough ones, and I think a lot of that is just not being up to the pace of play. Sometimes that happens. You just get out of the pace of play, and all of a sudden now you're chasing the game a little bit. Felt like that was what we might have seen go on there. Defensively, though, I've trusted them for the most part. Offensively, it's like, okay, the bottom six is fine. You can tell that there's some definitive roles in those guys, but then top six, you're getting what you've been asking for. JT, Marner had been great. Matthew Nyes was incredible. William Nylander, in the first period, I was watching William Nylander. I'm like, this guy might be the best player on this team. The way he controls the puck in the offensive zone, the way he skates around, they said it on the broadcast tonight, and I agree, but this is a guy who looks like he's got the puck on a string at points. Like, he can do whatever he wants, whenever he wants, however he wants. He kind of just waltzes around at his own pace, at his own tempo, drives the net. No one can take it from him. The pass to Matthews to score that goal is incredible vision to see that, an incredible play across. And even ahead of that, it's like on the power play, making moves past guys driving to the net, finding Johnny T in the slot there with just incredible playmaking ability. He was looking real good. But I mean, that's just a point I want to bring up there as I was in this tangent about how I've been able to trust these guys for the most part. But long story short, or I guess long story long, because I kind of said a lot for no reason, was this just felt anti-Leafs in the weirdest way possible. You played like crap. Crap's maybe too strong of a word to describe what happened here tonight. You didn't play well, and you walked away with a 4-1 win. I'll take that. Now, cautious about this. One thing I would be weary of when things like this happen, let's not let these deserve to win a meter, getting spanked and yet winning games, roll over again and again and again. If on Wednesday night you don't play well and you squeak out a victory, and then on Friday night you don't play well and you squeak out a victory, you know what the conversation's going to start to be? Is this team fraudulent? Don't let this build up. I talk about consistency a lot, whether it's players. I talk about it with Nick Robertson, like, hey, you score that goal, what are you going to do the next night? Because that one doesn't just take the pressure off your back for everyone who's looking at you. How do you play the next time? Or a goaltender who steps into a game and has one good game. That's great. Can you have 2, 3, 4, 5? Because those are the marks of teams and players that you can trust over time. Okay. You found ways to get these ones out, and I am happy with those, and I'm not going to diminish the fact that, like, this is a very different feeling than I've had in years past about, okay, yeah, you know, we didn't deserve to win this, and yet we won, but I'm just going to throw out there, do not let this become a theme. If you're going year to year, or game to game to game, just getting thumped on the deserve to win meter, there's going to be concerns. There will be some serious long-term concerns. Luck can play a major factor. You have to be good to be lucky. Lucky to be good. Don't make luck your theme. That's all I would say about that. Let's get to some individual stuff here. I want to get to some individual player situations. I saw some thoughts on, should we trade for this guy? What are your thoughts on so-and-so? Before we get into some of that stuff, first and foremost, I love the Amazon broadcasts. I really, really do. 6 1/3. Why did Amazon call this like a Chicago home game? Zack, tell me. I didn't think so. I did not think so. Like, I was not watching this game like, are you kidding me? What are they talking about? Why are they giving so much love to Chicago and not the Leafs? I don't know. I don't think I'm alone in that. It seems like the general sentiment was that this was a great broadcast. I thought so. I love it. I think that the energy, the graphics, I think that the camera work, I think it's all awesome. And the other thing, the sound in there, I think is real good as well. Real good. So that's what I just wanted to say about the broadcasts. I kind of disagree with those. Keep hitting that like button. Let's get to 50. We are very, very, very close here. Fisk TV, our guy Skylar. I remember Cooper saying last year on the morning take, the Leafs are closer than we all may think, and did say they're going to make a run. Yeah, I mean, I would agree, but I think that some of that is just mindset. Like, you may have the guys here, but do you have the mindset to get yourself in that right state that you can go on a run with, that you can have success with? I don't think that they did before. And maybe that talent-wise and the ability to score and maybe some of the flashes of goaltending could lead you to believe, yeah, they were closer, that maybe we gave them a result or gave them the benefit of. But no, not there was some mental stuff, that mental hurdles that needed to be got over before you could consider this a really close team. Salvatore Ianni, question for Zack. Will Chicago trade Pat Maroon before the deadline? The Leafs can use his playoff experience. I mean, honestly, in Chicago, I would say that they're probably open to trading anybody other than the young kids, right? Like, do you think that the older guys they have there, some of the veteran guys, are just locked in and they're going to be so opposed to trading them? I don't think so. I think that there would be a willingness to move anybody that they could that would benefit them in the longer term, especially some older guys. You're not expecting to make the playoffs. You just want your team to be in a better position and heading in the right direction. If you can find some guys who can help you, or some picks or whatever it may be, then yeah, why not do that? Like, why not flip guys? But if you're looking for who could be traded and who the Leafs could be looking to acquire, as he says, the Leafs can use his playoff experience. Today on The Sheet with Jeff Merrick, which you should all be checking out Monday to Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern time. Jeff did suggest the Leafs are taking a look at Nazem Kadri. You guys have talked about it in the chat. People have asked. We've seen reports out there. Or not reports. We've seen rumors, murmurs even, call it that. And today on The Sheet, Jeff did bring up there could be some interest from the Toronto Maple Leafs in reuniting with Nazem Kadri back here in Toronto. So make sure to go and subscribe to the Daily Faceoff so you get all that content there as well. 3 p.m. Eastern time, Monday to Friday, Jeff Merrick. And if you do, shameless plug, if you do enjoy me or just my occasional comments and you want me but maybe a little bit less, I do produce the show as well. And I am on it. So check it out. Check us out tomorrow. More comments from the chat. I want to see. I feel like this we can get into a chat heavy show here tonight to break this one down. Diz K, Tavares with another blind no-look goal. Zack, are you starting to believe in the power of the amulet? Starting to, Diz K. I think I bought in on this thing like after the second game that I saw this guy all of a sudden just had legs. I thought his legs were dead. I thought we were never getting the same John Tavares back. I was like, okay, obviously his level of play had diminished to an extent there over a period of time where you're like, yeah, he's just getting older. It's natural. It happens. You're going to regress. You're going to slow down, whatever, and the game's going to go past you. Where, hey, maybe you're not out of the league or not a useful player, but maybe you're just not $11-something million worth the contract and the cap space. And then all of a sudden, Johnny T finds this resurgence in his legs, and it's kind of around the exact same time that we're hearing that he's got this amulet that he's rocking. I'm starting to think that he needs to give like team amulets. Give Austin Matthews an amulet. Let's solve whatever injury issues he's got going on. Let's get Bobby McMahon an amulet and fix his lower body issues that he keeps having pop up here. Like, let's get Joseph Woll an amulet so that he doesn't get hurt anymore. I need the entire team amulets so that these guys are staying healthy and rocking at a level like Johnny T is currently rocking at, because he has been so good. Clearly, I don't know. This guy believes in the amulet. He's a professional hockey player. I am not, but maybe I'm going to start wearing the amulet on the post-game show. There was a point in time just prior to Austin Matthews going out where this switch flipped, where it was like not just Johnny T putting up points and producing, getting numbers on the board, but it was like overall impact of the game where you're genuinely watching every night being like, holy shit, did you see Johnny tonight? You see Tavares last night? You see the way he played in this game? The guy has been really good. Like, really good. And then Matthews goes down. They switch up all these lines. Mitch Marner ends up playing on his line. And all of a sudden, it's like what he had already found with the amulet gets doubled. So I don't know if there's like Mitch powers that he's also multiplying this amulet, or the amulet multiplied Mitch, which is multiplying Johnny T. And it's just this endless loop of the amulet makes Mitch better and Mitch makes JT better, which makes the amulet better and which makes Mitch better. And they're just going like this. And the two of them are just feeding off of each other. But big picture on this is what these lines, like those guys need to be together. They need to be together. And I would say, hey, I hate patting myself on the back, but at this point, I'm kind of starting to enjoy it. I'm going to pat myself on the back for this one as well. That is what I had said should be together anyways. Mitch and JT should be a line. Those two should be playing together because the chemistry they have, their ability to find each other, and their seemingness to like not need to force feed the other seems way more prominent than when Mitch plays with Matthews. Like, I think Mitch makes JT better. I don't think he makes Matthews better. I think that they just do awesome things together, and we all look at it and be like, ooh, look at that, because it's highlight after highlight after highlight. I don't think Willie makes JT better. I think Mitch makes JT better. So why the fuck should we be putting Willie with JT? The other point to make here, in my opinion, is Willie and Matthews seem to work really well together right now. I don't know, like, long-term how we would want to see this go. We obviously saw Domi playing with Matthews, and that seemed to work really well. And maybe if you can find a way to break things out evenly, where you can get Matthews with his own line, Marner and Tavares with the line, and then Willie his own line, but you still find ways to make sure Willie is getting minutes and not just getting dismissed, because honestly, his ability to create offense and kind of just take over a game is second to none right now. But I would say watching them play together right now, Matthews and Nylander, the chemistry those two seem to have right now is a lot of fun to watch. And whether it's going to be productive for a long period of time and long term, I'm interested to watch over and over and over again, like in the next few games. But seeing them feed off of each other is incredibly fun. Mitch and Austin, yes, it's always going to be, because they're two exceptional players, but that one is very, very obviously, hey, Mitch is the playmaker, Austin is the goal scorer, and there were times where it would just become so abundantly clear Mitch was doing anything and everything he could to feed Austin. Look at this game here tonight between Nylander and Matthews. At no point tonight did I feel like either one of them were trying to feed the other. At no point here tonight was I like, wow, Willie shouldn't have done that because he was trying to force feed Matthews. He should have just done this. Or Matthews the other way. Like, that never really crossed my mind of what the hell are these guys doing? Why don't you just shoot? Why don't you just take the puck? They seem to find their own opportunities while simultaneously just kind of like, maybe the wrong word or wrong way to describe it, but you get what I'm saying, globe-trottering around the ice, where they're both so dominant with the puck and both can score at any given moment or drive the net at any given moment, that they're both so dangerous, and yet they're able to find each other. I'm not here saying at all that what Mitch does is not like dominant on the puck or anything like that. It's more just, it's a different look when it's Nylander and Matthews. And then if they can play together, and Nyes is this excellent complementary piece, which I think yet again here tonight he is, then when you look at Marner and Tavares and the fact that Marner makes Tavares better, why not stick with these? And thankfully, we'll see what happens. Like a week from now, it could change. Friday, it could change. Who knows? But right now, it does feel like Berube is just going to keep this together. Like, what? He doesn't seem like the type of guy who's like, smash the button, smash the button, smash the button. Let's change these guys. Let's get them off of each other's lines. We need to switch this all up. It's like, oh wow, keeping players together over and over and over again and allowing them to develop some chemistry works in a positive light. Like, hey, we're starting to see some stuff be built between Marner and Tavares, like what we had out of them previously in years where they both had what was maybe their best seasons ever together. They're helping each other out. Willie does not make JT better. Let's get that out of the way. Marner helps JT be better. We saw them again here tonight in a game where it's a sleepy one. I thought, other than Marner's belligerent drop pass on the breakaway, that pass was nuts. I like am having like flashbacks in my head of that pass. But other than that, I mean, we're pretty much looking at lines here that are now hey, you've got something on each one where it's like a little bit different and you have other players in there who make each other better. Why not roll with that? And I think that hopefully we'll keep that going. I see some stuff in the chat, and I think it's relevant to hear this game tonight. It's big picture things, but it's also pulling into what exactly happened tonight. While I'm also looking at the chat, I'm seeing that there's 3 likes away from 50 right now. So at 50 likes, we'll do the smelling salts. Make sure to hit that like button. Subscribe here to the channel. John Gallagher, grilled cheese sandwiches make everything better. Grilled cheese is good. I mean, I don't think that grilled cheese is really something anymore that at this point in my life, I'm like chomping at the bit to be getting a grilled cheese. Like if you get a gourmet grilled cheese or something, then sure, I'll jump in there. But I'm not like dying for grilled cheese. Every now and then I would say that I see a like TikTok or something where someone made a homemade like tomato soup or a tomato soup in a restaurant and there's a grilled cheese and it's like yeah, like I could do some damage to that. I could fuck that up, but I don't think grilled cheese is something that's like, yeah, I need to be having this regularly. You know what I mean? Grilled cheese sandwiches make everything better. Code 88, nothing better than grilled cheese with bacon and a tomato soup. Yeah, I could rock with that. 6 1/3. My grilled cheese is insane. Tammy says, fucking love grilled cheese with beer. All right. Yep, fair enough. Warrior Womp, if you don't like grilled cheese, you probably lactose. Oh, that's lactose intolerance. Nice. Never seen it written that way. Hockeyfights.com, knuckle sandwich. I hope that I'm not getting any of those ever again for the rest of my life. I don't think I need to be involved in any skirmishes ever again at this point. So let's hope not. But yeah, weird little grilled cheese side tangent here on the show tonight. Brett Longfield, how many grilled cheeses do you think Nizy could demo? I don't know, dude. That guy is a house. That guy could probably put back some grilled cheese. We did hit 50 likes here on the stream. Let's get to that. And then I've got some topics about some of these kids you guys are bringing up. You're talking about kid food here, really. I mean, those are the ones when I was a kid. Oof. Grilled cheese and a nice soup. Yeah, that's especially this time of year. It's cold. You know, you go outside, walk around. It's like -1, -2. It's weird. You're getting the wind. It's not even like snow. It's just cold. And then you come back inside where it's like hot inside, and all of a sudden it's so cold outside. You come inside and like the heat makes your skin sting. And then you sit down and have a nice grilled cheese and a soup. Now, that I could do. That would sound good right now. All right. 60 likes here on the stream. Let's get some more and let's get to 100. But yeah, soup season. Smelling salts. Thank you guys. Thanks for sticking with me through that strange grilled cheese side tangent. I don't know how we got there. Thank you. There you go. All right. Let's get to 100 and let's do this again. Yeah, sorry for making you guys hungry. Let's talk about the kids. Nice easily eats 8 grilled cheese, man. Probably. Let's talk about the kids. First, let's talk about Fraser Minton. Fraser Minton with what... Oh my God, my eyes. Ends up being the 3rd goal here tonight. And is an important one because... You started the 3rd period in a slow, sleepy 3rd, and I was like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of people would probably be in the same boat here. I looking at that, I'm like, oh, fuck. We are in deep right now. This is not being a good game already. This is one of those ones where you're up 2-0. Chicago scores. You weren't starting the 3rd very well. It's like, okay, 2-1, now all of a sudden 2-2, and you're going, well, how did we get here? Because you went through 40 minutes with the lead, and you're up 2, entering the 3rd, and now all of a sudden it's a tie game. And it's like, well, You want to talk about leafy moves? That's a leafy move right there, and didn't happen. 2-0, bang, 2-1, and it's like I feel so bad because Stolarz had played so well. Obviously, ends up finishing tonight with still great statistics for himself personally, but like he had this awesome game, and that goal he almost had anyways goes to reach back. I think it like actually he pushed it in, which obviously I'm not saying that this is his fault, but like while trying to save it, I think he almost had it and ended up bumping it with his arm to go back in. And like that made me gutted for him because I was like, oh my God, this team is going to blow this game. This is what they do. This is who they are. Like they're going to blow this one, and they're going to sewer this guy in net who's had a great game here to start. And then next thing you know, the third line goes out there. I thought Lorenz had a great game. I thought that third line was pretty good. Like they didn't make too much of a crazy impact or anything throughout this one, but that goal came at the perfect time. You weren't really making mistakes too much out there. I didn't think that they were a detriment to the team. I mean, you look at Minton here, he's a +1, finishes with the goal. Lorenz, who somehow, again, you guys can see this every single time. I think this is like the 4th time I pull up the box score at the end, and he gets listed as a defenseman. Anyways, Lorenz ends up with +1 there as well. I mean, between these guys, the way that this group is playing, Nick Robertson, 3 shots on goal, +1 for himself. I don't want to get ahead of myself because I'm having this weird mental battle of the kids are really good, Minton and Grabenkin specifically, and I want to see them flourish in an NHL role, and I want to see them keep getting more opportunity and more ice time and more responsibility, but somehow, for some reason in my head, I'm like, okay, also, are you going to hurt their development? Which is a weird concept here because, like, you're not really in a... Sorry, I'm going slow through this. It's like I'm thinking out I'm saying my thoughts out loud right now, but kind of what I'm getting at is like you're not in a position where you should be like focused on development, if that makes sense. You're focused on what makes the team the best right now. And if Fraser Minton and Nikita Grabenkin are better than Ryan Reeves, David Kampf, and Kalle Järnkrok, they should be in the lineup, right? You get where I'm going here with this? But at the same time, if you're going to play them for 13 minutes, which realistically actually isn't even that bad, 9:39 for Grabenkin, and I mean, honestly, like that's kind of the guys that I'm looking at. Outside of that, it's pretty much just them two. We'll talk about Alex Nylander in a bit, but if it's just those two, if you're just going to play them at those minutes, is that going to harm them? Are they playing enough? Are they getting enough action? Are they getting enough exposure? Like if there's them playing third and fourth line is going to be good enough for them. The other example that I look at is Jordan Kyrou and Robert Thomas on the St. Louis Blues in the year that they won. If I'm not mistaken, Robert Thomas was playing on a line with like Pat Maroon. Those guys were playing bottom six. They were playing more limited roles. And they were able to make an impact on the game while still developing and not having to play too much. Could these guys just fit into those roles? Right? Because Robert Thomas was a very good player in those playoff runs. He's not a guy that ends up going out there and, dominating a game with 15, 16, 17 minutes a night and is going to play and be put in those positions. But he was a kid who came in, who's on a cheap contract, can alleviate pressure elsewhere because maybe you don't need a couple $1 million deal for David Kampf, or a couple million on Calle Ehrenkrok, or a couple million on Ryan Reeves. And then now all of a sudden you take whatever, $6-7 million plus, spread out across those guys, and you condense it down to your 1.5 combined between Gulbenkian and Minten. So in my head, there is that look of like, we have seen this before. It's not a foolproof process, and every player and every kid is different. But right now, I'm watching both of their games and asking myself every single time, how the fuck do we take these kids out of the lineup? Like, they are not playing their way out of this lineup. It's not like they're exceptional, but they're doing the right things. Fraser Minten is so mentally mature. You can tell his awareness on the ice, his ability to commit to the defensive side of the puck and make an impact in the defensive zone while now contributing offensively. 4 points through 5 games. 4 points through 5 games for him. 2 goals, 2 assists in 5 games that he's played up here with this group. And one of the other more damning things that I saw, and no disrespect to him, but David Kampf, 18 games before his injury. You want to know how many points the guy had? 0 goals, 3 assists, 3 points in 18. Fraser Minten, 2 goals, 4 points. 2 goals, 2 assists, 4 points in 5 games. Now, it doesn't mean that this is going to last forever, but again, here tonight, that goal, smart play. If you actually watch it back, he circles back out high. He's a support player at the top there, ready to be back in a high position in case the puck breaks out. Point shot goes through, hits the end boards, hits the side of the net, and then jumps back out. Then Fraser Minten is coming back in from up high, attacking down low to the net as he's watching and reading the play happen in real time, and scores a nice goal. And I see Chris Arsenault there saying, does anyone miss Kampf? Honestly, no. Not me, not right now. And it doesn't mean, like, David Kampf's not a bad player when he's in the lineup, but genuinely right now, I don't find myself being like, oh no, we need that guy back here. The way the team has played defensively as a group, for a player who is this, defense first, smart defensive zone, penalty killing type of guy, his role is being very quickly diminished. Look at your players like Mitch Marner and Austin Matthews, who are now playing penalty killing minutes. Look at some of the other guys that you end up out there with, like Pontus Holmberg, who I don't think was that great still, but he's out there killing penalties. Bobby McMahon, when he's healthy, he's killing penalties. Other guys getting penalty killing time. Connor Dewar, who is just a younger version of David Kampf and might just be better, like a younger, better David Kampf. If he's literally just David Kampf. And he just seems to be better. Then, your other penalty killers, Holmberg getting time, Nyes getting time on PK, Marner, Matthews, Steven Lorentz. Sorry, I didn't even mean to leave him out. Every time I just look at the box sheet to see who played the most shorthanded time, I'm having to look at the guy in the defensive slot, tripping me out. But I don't miss him right now. I don't miss him. Fraser Minten is a big, strong kid who is really, really smart. And I don't know, man. If 5 more games under his belt, I could be looking at him and going, yeah, he's better. He makes more of an impact than David Kampf. And why would I want to spend a couple $1 million more on a guy who is doing the same thing as this kid? And again, you fight the constant battle of, is this going to diminish or hurt their development if they're not playing enough minutes and getting enough exposure with Minten and Gulbenkian? But then there's the flip side where it's like, any NHL exposure is better than just putting a kid in a little protective bubble down in the AHL and saying, oh, let's not hurt this. Let's nurture and process this thing and make sure that it's so perfect before we bring it back up, and let it be an NHL player and make sure that it cocoons. Fucking throw the thing in the deep end and see if it can swim. Like, maybe we're just at that point where it's like, hey, are you an NHL player or are you not? Like, even this Grebenkin kid, he is, for lack of better words, raw. Like, there is some stuff he's got to work on. He's not the perfect player, but holy shit is he exciting. He will hit anybody. He's not afraid of anyone right now. He is engaged in the forecheck. He's engaged in the physical game. He's shown he's willing to fight people. That play at the end of the game there, he goes and smokes, damn it, I'm blanking on the name right now. I will find it quickly. Who did he smoke behind the net? Kaiser, behind the net. And the guy gets all pissed off. Donato gets pissed off. It's like, yeah, your team's not very good right now, so you're going to get frustrated. You're going to get, like, that's just what's going to happen when you lose games at the rate that these guys are losing, when you're not as good of a team as those guys are right now. That's going to happen. You get smoked at the end of the game there. First of all, get your fucking head up. Like, you're in the NHL. I don't care how much time is left. I don't care where you're at. I don't care where you are at in the play, in the period, in the game. You play till the final whistle, and that is what Grebenkin does. And to the point of guys that we have talked with here on the show, Rosie, Hutz, like having those guys on. I heard them talk about it on the morning show. You need to be aware of who is on the ice with you. One of my good buddies, he played a high-level university, played pro hockey. After he was telling me, he's like, every time I was on the ice, he's a defenseman. Every time I was on the ice, if I went back, because I was asking him about the Darnell Nurse stuff and his thoughts on that, he's saying, every time I went out on the ice, I had to know who was on the ice. Because you just know some people are going to finish checks. Some people are going to try to put you through the end boards. And it's just a part of the game. That's their role. That's what they're going to do. Be aware that Nikita Grebenkin is out there. That's the end of my statement on that. I don't think that it was necessarily like he's like super pissed off that he got hit. I think part of it was, is just frustration with the game and losing. But Grebenkin smokes the guy. He gets put in, he gets put into like a headlock battle behind the net. And as soon as he turns around, he gets himself square face to face with the guy. Watch the broadcast because Grebenkin has his hands down like this. He's in like a bear hug, right? He's in like this. And as soon as he gets his hands free to a little spot out here, he goes like this. Boom! Sheds his gloves faster than anything I've seen and is ready to go. Like, the kid looks just like a mutant out there. He's ready to go at any given moment. It's just fun to watch. He's got a ton of energy, a ton of passion. He makes great plays. He puts his body on the line. I have really, really, really enjoyed what he's brought. And man, if you've got that kind of jump to you, and you're going to bring that energy and have that passion and also be a productive player, why can you not stick here with the team? Why can you not stay for an extended period of time? Like, I don't know. That's, the kids are making a case, man. I will say that. And it's not just it's not a pity case of like, yeah, wow, they've done good. Let's help them and hold their hands. Like, no. They're fun to watch. They're fun to watch. Grebenkin, Minton is more ready than Grebenkin 100%, but I kind of feel like Grebenkin is like a trial by fire, or like whatever the saying is, trial and error, trial by fire. I don't know. Dude, he's like raw and nuts. He's a psychopath in the best way possible. And I feel like that the best we could do with this kid is putting him in there and just making him learn and not forcing him to go back to the AHL and foster it there. I don't know. Like, I could be wrong. I'm not in like development, but I know it's a long diatribe, and I know that there's more super chats I want to get to, but that's kind of just my thoughts on those guys. They're the kids right now. More likes. We will get to another set of smelling salts as we get to our next couple of super chats here before we head into our play of the game, our grade of the game, and our best bet, recapping what went wrong here for us tonight. But let's start with a super chat. Need some water. Sorry. Being a long one. Being a long one. Been talking for 50 minutes here already. If you didn't catch it already, 3 p.m. Eastern time today was the debut of The Sheet. Jeff Merrick, brand new show. Monday to Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern time. Yes, you can catch me there as well. I will be producing that show going forward, so make sure to check it out. But first super chat. Seo Sangnam has still not ever corrected me on his name if I'm saying it wrong. So apologies if I am, because you send these super chats all the time. I'm super appreciative of them. We as a team are super appreciative of them, but sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. He says, we all know this too, but let's remember how injured the Leafs have been, and they keep getting wins. It's not just improved defense and goaltending, but the presumed Berube influence on the team too. I don't really have too much to add to this. The thing that I would say, like in what Seo's saying, and to kind of support the case or just even add more fuel to it, is a lot of times it's discussed that teams can take on the identity of a coach, right? How does the coach, how the coach conducts themselves, how the coach wants a game to be played, the team oftentimes will fall in line with that. But you also need the players, the personnel, to get the most out of that group, and the coach kind of in a combined effort. For those of you who watch Morning Cup of Hockey, it's actually kind of convenient that this happened today. I was catching the end of the show there with Laz and Colby, and Colby had proposed to Laz the impact of a coach on a team, and then goaltending as well. And Laz had brought up his time at UMass and the coach that they had at UMass, and he was saying that the coach at UMass is an incredible coach, but the style of play that he demands of his players was not compatible with the players that they had in the room. And I wonder about the transition of Keefe to Berube here, and on top of that, the transition from Dubas and Keefe to Tree Living and Keefe to Tree Living and Berube. And where I'm going with this is that Keefe was Dubas's guy, and they both had a very similar mindset of the way that the game should be played. And oftentimes we would come on here after and we would talk about, hey, this guy needs to get more minutes or needs to get more playing time, but we would never see it. We would never see it playing out the way we as fans had anticipated or hoped or wanted it to kind of play, right? Then when Tree Living came in, he started to change the roster pretty quickly. We saw a massive overhaul of the defense to these bigger, tough, hard-to-move players that get in your way and finish checks and block shots and will do anything and everything they can to win. You had Sheldon Keefe, and we would see the team still playing more of a similar way to that of the Kyle Dubas era. And again, I don't think Sheldon Keefe's a bad coach. I think there was just a disconnect between them. And then on top of that, the one thing, and it, like my favorite movie, Moneyball, you hear it's like, you're gonna, Art Howe won't play Hatteberg at first. They keep losing, and Billy Bean goes down to the office, and he's like, you're going to play the way the team the way I put them together, and Art says I'm going to play the team the way that justifies me in coaches meetings in the summer. And then Billy Beane goes and trades Pena. And next thing you know, Art Howe has to play Hatteberg. Because Billy Beane has designed the team in a way that Hatteberg will be playing at first. And Art Howe won't play him at first. So Billy says, watch this. You think you're going to play Pena at first? You can't. He plays for the Tigers. You're going to be playing Hatteberg at first. Well, look at the roster now. And look at guys that Keefe had a crutch on, where it was like, hey, this is the guy who gets me through. This is the guy that elevates me in spots. This is the guy that I need here playing this minutes, or these are the lines that we're going to have, etc., whatever. True Living basically flipped it on its head to a degree there and was like, no, actually, we're going to go and get this player, and this player. We're going to play this style of game, and you're going to like it. Well, there was probably a little bit of oil and water there between Tree Living and Keefe. And now you look at the relationship between Berube and Tree Living. Those just seem like some dust up in the hallway type of guys that could go in there and just throw bombs because they're just down to do it for the fun of it. They're just old school hockey guys. And I'm not saying that's the best thing ever, or you need to adapt that mindset 100%, but you need to be able to have that with talent if you're going to have long-term success. And they started to trade guys and move into that direction. Liljegren, gone. Sandin, gone. No more Kerfoot. No more Malgins. Okay, we're going to have an outside guy. Well, it's going to be Philippe Myers, who's 6'10". You're going to just trend in that direction rather than, hey, the extra guy who's sitting in the stands is 5'8" and he can really move his feet. But you just changed the dynamic of the team and built these bigger, tougher, stronger guys around them. And now all of a sudden, the guys that play that way are really thriving. Jake McCabe looks incredible. Tanev, incredible right now. Benoit elevates his game. Timmins is elevating his game. Look at how happy and excited we are about Nyes, McMahon, Pacioretty, the way he played before his injury. Look at, Grabenkins, Mintons. We're talking about these guys. Look at Steven Lorentz. The guy is a fourth-line player who is getting opportunities on the third line here now, but we as a fan base are horny over this guy and the contributions he's making because he just plays this blue-collar, aggressive, nose to the ground, grinded out type of hockey game. And we're like, fuck yes. These are the guys we're more hyped about. And we've got William Nylander, who's on pace for 55 goals. Mitch Marner, who can put up 100 points. John Tavares, who's tied for 20th with Wendell Clark all-time in Maple Leafs history for points. Austin Matthews, who can score 69 goals in a season. And the guys we come here and we go nuts about in the post-game show is Nikita Grabenkin and Chris Tanev for eating pills and Simone Benoit for laying guys out. This is just a different style, and lunch pail hockey, as BRGR there says, lunch pail hockey. And you're going to have a hard time convincing me that it's not Craig Berube having an effect on that style of play. The players matter because you need them in there, but you need a coach who's going to also bring that out of them. And I don't know if Sheldon Keefe had that mindset or style to draw it out of him. I'm not saying he is soft or anything like that, but I think that maybe his style of game lends to a different direction than what you get out of Craig Berube and what he demands of his team. So you get these role players who are going to thrive a whole lot more than you would get in years past with some of these more skilled guys in the bottom six and Sheldon Keefe. That's a long way to answer Seo Sangnam Super Chat about the Berube influence, and a long way to say, I agree. Another Super Chat here. Joe Hill Salvatore Annie says this is Pat Burns, Pat Quinn style hockey. I wish I could tell you anything about Pat Burns. That predates my time. Pat Quinn style hockey, I was more around for that, and yeah, I mean, I was still a kid, so let's not get ahead of ourselves here in terms of me knowing this inside and out. But yeah, it 100% trends in that direction. Super chat from Joe Hill. I heard on a broadcast was that guys would give rookies like Grebs a shove to see what they would do, and if they get up fast like Grebs and stare back at you ready to go, you back down fast. I heard the same thing, Joe. I think we were listening to the same broadcast. Honestly, I'm pretty sure that was on Overdrive, and I think it was Jason Strudwick who was talking about that. And he's like, you know, it was Grebenkin who, I can't remember what the game was, maybe Vegas, where he got in like a little tussle at the end of the game and someone hit him and he just turned around ready to go right away. And the guy was like, okay, maybe not. And I think that's kind of funny because it's like you're testing these kids a little bit and being like, hey, like, you think you're a tough guy? Like, you want to go? And then all of a sudden the kid's like, yeah, let's fucking go. It's like, whoa, wait a minute. Maybe I didn't think that was coming, and maybe this isn't the fight that I wanted because you were a little too willing of an opponent in this one where you're just turning around saying, let's go. And it's like, uh-oh. Like the Russian kid with hair flying out of his helmet, and he's got crazy eyes and a mouth guard who's whipping his gloves off like that, turns and looks at you and says, yeah. And all of a sudden you're like, uh-oh, wrong kid to pick a fight with. But yeah, he's an exciting guy to watch there. Joe Hill also with another super chat. Lawrence and Grebenkin, etc. I thought that loving hardcore third and fourth line players is a Toronto tradition. It is. My point being that this is something we've lacked for a long time. Like, think about this in the last 9 years, and I think that this is what wore on people was like, who was your bottom six guys? You know, no disrespect to these guys, but it's not the guys that traditionally we are so in love with here as a fan base and what the people of Toronto want and need from their group, or what you look around the league and see other teams' bottom six guys having. I think that's the other thing where it was like, we tried to reinvent the wheel there as well, where it's like, hey, maybe we don't need to like go the complete opposite direction of what everyone else is doing. Maybe we could just try to like find ways to improve on what everyone else is doing. Maybe those guys can be fast and they can be skilled, but maybe they could also be big and tough. Like, you can get a more modern type of player who fits those rules, and they don't all need to be these big meatheads back there. But the third and the fourth lines of what we saw, you know, it was, I mean, it was, I'm going to even forget guys, but Nick Patan, Alex Kerfoot, Dennis Malgin, Pierre Engvall, Ilya Mikheyev. These are not the guys that you're like Stanley Cup winning bottom six. You know, it's way easier to say in hindsight. I get that. And when we say it, when we were looking at it at the time, it was like, wow, these teams look so good, and they did. But looking back, it's like, yeah, we were missing really important pieces and style of play and types of hockey there with this group, that it's just those little bits are like, we were missing that, right? We were missing that. Now the team has these players who fit that, and you've got a coach who gets like those fiery aspects out of those guys. I gotta think of how I want to say this, because I wonder, like, if Sheldon Keefe was here with this group, would it work the same way? If that's what I'm going to say. Dr. Firewater says, Tammy, have a great night. See you in the day show. Keep these guys on a tight leash. Zack gets riled up too easy. Fair enough. I think this has been a pretty even-keeled show here. that'll do it for super chats that we've got here so far on the show. We appreciate Seo Sangnam and Joe Hill for firing those ones off here during the stream tonight. Appreciate it as always. Keep liking the stream. We are almost there. Almost there at 100. We are real close. So keep hitting that like button. We'll do more of the smelling salts. One more at least before we get out of here. We got a couple things to do to finish this one off. And maybe comment to the chat here right now. Comment of the night. Other than the grilled cheese comment. Robert Amen. Robert Amen. I could cut diamonds with this Leafs team right now. LOL. Do I want to know which part of you is capable of cutting diamonds right now, Robert? Like, does anyone want to know that? Not sure. But that's why this is the After Dark show. I don't know if you get that kind of commentary on the Leafs morning take. Another super chat. Thank you guys for the super chats. We got 2 here. First, Joe Hill. Thank you, Joe. Those third and fourth line guys you mentioned also were kind of like Moneyball long shots. They had something, but missed key strengths, needed to keep pucks out of the net. I agree. Yeah, 6 and third overshare. Yeah, I agree, Joe. I mean, we did kind of try to moneyball it a little bit, and obviously some of that ended up being like, hey, you signed these contracts, you were expecting to an extent there that cap was going to go up, unforeseen circumstances with the world shutting down for a couple of years, drastically impacted what happened with the cap and kind of hurt the Leafs' ability to grow with that and allow that these guys like Matthews and Tavares and Nylander and Marner and their contracts and everything as they were about to go up and salary was going to go up that you could fit in pieces underneath. And all of a sudden it was like, hey, you know those contracts that you signed and you thought you were going to have all this money and room to play with? You don't. So it kind of got tough. So, I mean, I will give Dubas a little bit of the benefit of the doubt on that one. But, I mean, it's just we had to play Moneyball a little bit. You took some shots on some of those guys, and it just never ended up working, whether they were not the right pieces here, if they were missing stuff that you need to get over the hump. But regardless, didn't end up working. First ever Super Chat here. Oh, no, third Super Chat on a live stream, but I think first on the Leafs Nation After Dark show. I'm going to give them that little intro here anyways. Didn't send anything, but I appreciate it no matter what. I think I'm saying this right. I hope so. Marquise Maintenance. Thanks for the Super Chat, Marquise. I appreciate it. He does say there later again. I don't know if he meant to put this in the Super Chat or not, but he says, Captain Canada... ... JT. Ooh. 2 days. Couple days away here. 2 days away from finding out who's on the Team Canada roster. I wonder if JT makes it. By the way, I didn't put up the MVP poll here tonight because I think it's pretty unanimous who the MVP is. If you're not voting Stolarz as your MVP of the night, you shake your head. Shake your head. Hit that like button. We're 6 away from 100. Let's get to it as we wrap this thing up. Let's get to, first and foremost, our play of the game. Play of the game for me. Audible. CJ pissed. The other day he was pissed that I had the poll. Now he's pissed that I don't have the poll. CJ, sorry, no poll. This one was a runaway one. I knew what the answer was. There was just no reason. Goalie. Love it, as Robert Smith there says. 5 more likes here as well. We'll do that. But I'm calling it audible. I'm going to give it to Stolarz. I'm just giving the play of the game to Stolarz. Like, how good he was here tonight. The team was sleepy. There was some real rough spots, so I was like, ooh, this one is no bueno. And he didn't let it be the case. This is traditionally a spot that this Leafs team just falls asleep. All of a sudden, Chicago ties it up there in that third period, and it would be 2-2, and you're gonna lose this one because the momentum's going against you. Your goaltender's swimming. Didn't happen tonight. Stolarz never lets it get to 2-2. He finishes tonight with just an absolutely incredible stat line. 28 shots against, 27 saves, a 9.64 save percentage. Like, him and Wall have been so good this year. I can't even, it's been a long time since I can think about how many times I've come on here and been like, wow, how many goalies were amazing tonight, you know? Every now and then we give these spot shout outs or to the performances by the goaltenders. This has been a season of like pretty much every night. Great goalie play, great goalie play, great goalie play. Man, great goalie play tonight. Stolarz just MVP tonight. The play of the game is not even the play of the game. It's the player of the game. Shout out to Stolarz for that. Honorable mention goes to Austin Matthews for him scoring and finally breaking. Obviously, a lot of it, him not scoring in the last while is because he's not playing, which you can't score if you're not on the ice. But beautiful pass, first of all, by William Nylander to find Austin Matthews, who sneaks in behind Donato. He kind of finds a soft spot. You'd think Donato would maybe look and go, oh, there's a guy who won the Rocket multiple times. Maybe I should cover him. Decides not to, and ultimately ends up letting him free, and he ends up scoring what is the first goal in over a month for Austin Matthews, which, again, injuries, not just because he can't score, but to get that one where, it feels like a little bit of a weight lifted off. Maybe this thing opens him up here as he returns from this injury, and all of a sudden Matthews is full steam ahead again and can just get himself on the board at a tremendous rate. But I am real happy that he scored that goal. It was a beautiful pass by Nylander. It was a beautiful finding of the lane by Matthews to get into the sweet spot, and then great finish as well. That's my play of the game. Let's get to, actually, quickly here, while we are still 3 likes away from 100, I want to remind you guys that Black Friday may be gone, but the Nation Gear Black Friday sale is here, and it's time to score big on Nation Gear. Whether you're repping the freshest designs or rocking the classics, this is your chance to snag all your favorites for 15% off. Big news, the brand new My City collection has dropped and is part of the sale along with other fresh gear you don't want to miss. This is your shot to grab the latest styles and the classics at unbeatable prices. Need the perfect gift from your favorite fan? Nation Gear has you covered. From hoodies to hats, makes this holiday season legendary for the hockey lover in your life. It gets better. You can see it up on the screen there right now. Spend over $200 and we'll throw in free shipping. But don't wait on the sidelines too long. This deal is 1 week only. Shop now, only on nationgear.ca. Make sure to head on over to nationgear.ca and get your gear now. We do have another super chat here, so get to that before we get to our next segment of the night. 2 likes away here as well. Remind everybody, but Seo Sangna. Seo Sangnam says, now that we're approaching a third way through the season, predict where do you think the Leafs will end up? 1, position, and 2, points total. Oh, and it's Susangnam. Is that Susangnim? Susangnim. S-U-H. I'm going to screenshot this and I'm going to practice this. You deserve better. Susangnim. 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 You deserve better. I'll fix it. I'll figure this out. Where do you think the Leafs will end up? 1, position. 2, points total. Well, you're really putting me on the spot there with that one. You gave the super chat, so I'm going to give you the answer. Oh, my God. Sorry, guys. Trying on the enunciation. Position. You know what? Position. First in the Atlantic. Not first in the East. I will say first in the Atlantic. And the funniest outcome possible, which you all will get, is Sheldon Keefe's New Jersey Devils finish ahead of them. Wouldn't be surprised here at all as well if, first and lose to Ottawa in the first round. Yeah, no, comatose. Those Sens ain't making the playoffs, brother. I'm going to say first in the Atlantic, and you finish behind New Jersey, potentially behind Carolina as well. And I just don't want the President's Trophy. Don't give me that. Do not give me that trophy. I don't want it near this team. I don't want this near the arena. Nothing. Boston wildcard Leafs first in the Atlantic would be sickening. But yeah, that's kind of how I'm seeing this one. Points. I don't know. I'm gonna be bad at this, and it is what it is. But I don't know. I'm going to say like 112 points we finished with this year. That's my projections. Yeah. That's what I got for you. Yeah, Joe says cursed. Yes, exactly. I do not want that President's Trophy. Grilled cheese on the mind will put you in an optimistic mood. Correct. Martian Puck, 89. Correct. Also, smelling salts twice will do that as well. 6 1/3, we won't get the President's. Good. I hope not. Okay, let's do next segment here. I want to get to our best bet. We had Vic. Are you fucked? Come on, don't ask me that question. Zach, who starts game 1, bro? Come on. I'm already having to predict where you finish in this and how many points you get. And now producer Vic, the GOAT, but producer Vic also putting me on the spot and asking me who starts game 1. Right now, Stolarz. Right now, Stolarz. Unbelievable start to the year. Jumped in and took the opportunity when it was there. Honestly, you know what? Was part of the Stanley Cup run with Florida last year. Was around the team with watching Bobrovsky, the way he acted, the way he handled himself. There's one thing I don't want to say at all, so I'm just going to say it the other way, and you guys will understand what I'm saying because I refuse to say this. We don't know that Joseph Woll is capable of playing in every game. Game 6 last year, plays amazing, gets to Game 7, Joseph Woll can't play, and it's like, well, that's a dagger. So, do you want that being the number 1 guy right now? I say Stolarz, probably my plan A. That's probably where I'm at. I get it. Like this case says, MLSE definitely wants Woll to be number 1. Stoli has played better so far. Yeah, I don't know, like better or not, but full body of work, Stolarz has more to show for what he's done to start this season. That's what I'll say. I think that's the best way to answer that one. I don't want to the biggest reason I don't want to answer that question is because I don't want to sewer guys and then have you guys come back here in like on Wednesday or Friday and be like, why did you say that? Look what you did. So yeah, I was basically just trying to avoid any kind of wording that I could have said that would have been real bad. But yeah, that's my answer. It's Stolarz. It's not that I didn't want to answer the question or I didn't know how to. I just was trying to be real cautious of words there. Just too big of a fan of this team and these goalies right now. Let's get to our best bet. Goaltending has been a positive. Oh, you know what? Quickly. Salts. Martian Puck. Martian Puck 89 says salts. It's a good point. I saw Vic there said he was a 99 flake. Well, that means someone came in after you, Vic, and closed this one off and got to 100. That means we have to do smelling salts as I pour them on my hand. Good. I'm gonna try to sleep later tonight and just be smelling chlorine basically. Smelling salts here. Oh my god. All right, I gotta get some new ones as well. These things are strong, but like we gotta amp this up a little bit for you guys. The After Dark show has been unreal. Keep hitting the like button. Subscribe here to the channel. Leafs Nation 401. Smelling salts. Here you go. That's for 100. Thank you guys. Vic in the chat. As my eyes water. Quickly, who is on Leafs Morning Take tomorrow? Let everybody know. I'll shout that out before the show ends here tonight as well. Let's get to our best bet of the night that ends up being still I think good look, but no bueno for our pockets. Let's get to that. Presented by Bet365. The Leaf Station pregame and the Leaf Station After Dark is brought to you by Bet365, proud partner. Of the Leaf Station pregame and the Leaf Station After Dark. The smelling salts really hit my brain hard there on that one. Open an account with Bet365 today and bet on a huge range of markets. Use code NATION, NATION. Code NATION, NATION, all caps. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Make sure to check that out. Best bet tonight, unfortunately, goes sideways for us. We had two. Bertuzzi, small, we played this one, plus 425, anytime goal. Look, there's no way around this one. That one was simple. I thought Bertuzzi, revenge game, blah, blah, blah. Leafs give up to former players always. It's a common thing. We're getting a big number on the guy. He plays with Bedard. This is easy money for whatever, $25, quarter unit on this one. It'll be no problem. No problem here. We'll win a unit back. Like, not even chasing anything, just genuinely like, hey, this is a good bet. We're good. No, because the Leafs decide we're only going to allow one goal. So great. I mean, it is great, but not great for the bet. The other one, Matthew Knies, power play point. Look, the second power play that the Leafs had there was nothing that was going to happen. That power play was not pretty. The second power play was like, struggling to enter the zone, felt like Chicago was having the better chances, the better opportunities. They were carrying momentum. That one sucked. The first power play, I thought we had a shot there, honestly. It looked like that power play was buzzing. Nylander was finding guys. Nylander was gripping shots. Matthews was able to curl around in different spots and be able to get open looks and be able to find other guys because he was a threat. Marner was moving the puck well from the point. Like, nice looking in front there. I'm thinking he's going to get a tip, a rebound, anything. Doesn't end up being the case, which is really frustrating because it felt like we were going to get a win on that bet, and ultimately you end up with only two power plays, and the second one stunk. First one, good chances. Second one, not so much. Vic there, no guest. Luke, Shen, and myself on the show on Wednesday. I will be stepping in and filling in for Nick on Wednesday's show, and then Luke Shen on. That's what it was that I was trying to remember. Vic says they're pointing out. Tomorrow morning, Leafs Morning Take, Pagnotta co-hosts. Make sure to check that out. Nick and Pagnotta on the show tomorrow. So that was who I was trying to remember who it was. Pagnotta in. Me in for Nick on Wednesday. Next man up. I'm going to be like Nikita Grobankin. I'm going to come in throwing hands with everybody ready to go. And maybe Nick's like David Kampf, and I come in and I'm the young kid with more energy, and I'm take his role. Watch yourself, Alberga. All right, let's get to the final segment of the day here to wrap this one up. Let's get to our grades of the game. Keep hitting that like button, subscribe here to the channel if you haven't already. Leafs Nation 401 right here on YouTube. Make sure as well to check us out on all podcasting platforms. Leafs Nation After Dark. all podcasting platforms. Don't Alex Steves this. Yeah. All right. Our grade of the game. In a rare 4-1 victory, I'm going with a rare grade for a 4-1 victory. I'm going the C+. This was not great. It was a good first period. There was great penalty killing, but like, this is not a very good Chicago team. Your power play was good on one, awful on another. You went 0 for 2, whatever. I'm not going to really be hung up about the results. I'm more curious about the process. Good on the first one, terrible on the second one. And then I don't know, like you snuck this one out, which in a way it's like happy and positive, and Fraser Minton scores and Grabenkin looks exciting here again. Philippe Myers looked fine, but probably not the best role for him to be playing and not the best pairing for him to be on with Riley. Stolarz, amazing, like A+ for him. Outside of that, it's just like gross game, but also happy that you won. So I don't know. It's a weird up and down, back and forth feeling. Dean Johnson says any win should at least be B-. I don't know. Like, I kind of disagree with that one. I think this is like a rare exception for like a C+ win, where I'm happy with the win, but like if you lost this one, I probably would say like terrible game. Bad grade, bad everything. I'm going with C+. That's my grade. That'll do it for the show here tonight. I appreciate everyone for watching, subscribing, hitting the like button. We got to 100 likes. We got 2 smelling salts in. We got a ton of super chats here as well, which is greatly appreciated as always. Thank you guys very much for the participation. Joe Hill, Sasangneem. Hopefully I said that one right. Sasangneem, as well as Marquise Maintenance there for the super chats tonight. Thank you all for participating. Thanks for participating in the chat too. That's going to do it for me here tonight. We have a busy week here across the Nation Network. I will be back tomorrow on the Jeff Merrick Show, Monday to Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, every day of the week. So if you want more of me, you can find me there. You want more from Merrick talking about what's going on around the league, you can find us over on that channel, Daily Face-Off. The Sheet with Jeff Merrick, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. You want more of Leafs Morning Take and producer Vic? Check the boys out right here on this channel tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Nick and Dave Pagnotta on tomorrow's show. And then on Wednesday, I'm filling in for Nick on the morning show. Luke Shen interview on Wednesday. And then after that, I will have a game preview. I will be up on Pagnotta's show, and then we will have a post-game show back here. So tons of stuff going on over the next couple of days. Hopefully we will see you guys across the network. We appreciate all the support. Thank you so much, as always. This has been game number 24 of the Toronto Maple Leafs regular season, defeating the Chicago Blackhawks here tonight, 4-1, moving to 15-7-2 on the season. Thanks, as always, for tuning in. We will see you guys very soon, and as always, keep believing. For more content just like this, including game previews, post-game live shows, Leafs Morning Take, Monday through Friday with Nick Alberga and Jay Rosehill with special guests, as well as instant reaction videos. Make sure to be subscribed here to the Leafs Nation YouTube channel. Turn on notifications so you don't miss anything, and drop a like.